Alright, shalom, shalom. I'd like to say all praises due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. And double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, the nation of Israel. Okay, spread throughout the four corners of the globe. And it's Tyler Yoff, Jim S. Boston coming back once again with a quick impromptu. And as you can see, what it says U.S. government negotiates deal to give WHO authority over U.S. policies. Okay. And I just wanted to touch on this real quick because when you hook everything together, or when you notice everything, let's put it like that, and you have the eye salve, all right, to understand the mysteries that was given in the scriptures. About these secret councils. All right, these these devils are on the move. They pulling out all the stops. All right, as you can see, it says the WHO plans to introduce over 500 new by 2030, which is their agenda. Okay. You see it, just the first of many coming soon. All right. And I just want to, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, say a couple of things. I'm not going to get too engulfed in reading, because the reading part is what's going to trigger the algorithm to give strikes out. And basically this is the name of the article. All right, but I am going to play something from Redacted. Okay, and just going to play it, and then I'm going to come out with some scriptures. But this is the article name, and I'll try to put it in the description box. I don't know what's going to happen because I see that they sick Snoops on it. Okay, and brothers know what that is. All right, that's the Scrub site. Okay, I don't know how long this article is going to be up, but it's a scrubber site that tries to kill misinformation. That's another thing that they have did through the owls say, the owls, okay, would say hint hint, the statue of Molech. Molech, okay.
To Redacted on this Thursday. Welcome to the Rebellion. I'm Clayton Morris.
I'm Natalie Morris.
And on this show, we cover the stories the mainstream largely ignores or buries or spins, and we try to cut through all of that. We have no agenda on this show, so welcome, welcome, welcome. Our only agenda here is pro-peace, anti-war. That we are steadfast in, and we've got a very busy show and a lot of war-related coverage tonight because, man, the warmongers are certainly on the march. But we're going to start the show today. We're going to really talk about the U.S. government ceding sovereignty to the World Health Organization. That's about to happen in about 4 days, as President Biden, and we were warning about this. I mean, we've been warning about this for months that this was going to happen. Africa stood up, Brazil stood up and said, no, we don't want this. We don't want to cede power to these unelected globalists. And guess what? President Biden's all in on that. And so what other North American countries, what other Western countries are going to fall in line with this? It's really, really disturbing. So we got a lot to unpack as it relates to this sovereignty issue coming up on the show.
Plus, a new report from journalist Seymour Hersh talks more about the Nord Stream pipeline sabotage. He continues to assert that the United States is 100% guilty for this, and the charge was led by President Biden.
Okay, so that's going into something else, but I'm just going to skip ahead to where I want to play it from. And mind you, right, these other these other countries, all right, that stood against this, and it makes sense, is the statue of Molech people, all right. They are not government officials. This is a privatized entity, okay, seeming like a shadow government, or one of these clubs that you hear, like Skull and Bones or something like that, okay. And here we go.
We're live every day at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Great to see all of you on Rumble as well. Become a channel supporter as well, right? So that's the next level. Yep. That's the next level up. Pizza Planet. I love that shirt.
Yeah.
Morning. It sort of reaches into your bed. It pulls the INC. It's our newsletter. It's the perfect. Some other things like that. And she said, "Why did I?"
Study guide for the newsletter.
There'll be like some bitch.
States are going to work out the details of this intergovernmental negotiating body meeting that happens on February 27th. And what they're trying to do is hand over power to the World Health Organization to dictate policies for future pandemics. The Biden administration last fall released a statement with the WHO saying, we see the need for this. We like it. We think it's important. We're going to do this. We're all in. This is called the WHO CA+, so that's how I'm going to refer to it. All 194 WHO member states are going to allow the WHO the power to declare and manage global pandemic emergencies. That means they could mandate lockdowns. They could mandate vaccines, they could dictate vaccine supplies and distribution, and they can monitor and put in place surveillance of entire populations. I'm going to show you the language because I went through the CA Plus today that hands this to them. Here is what the draft of this treaty, because it's only in draft form right now, here's what it says. Here's the vision, is that it aims for a world where pandemics are effectively controlled to protect present and future generations from pandemics and their devastating consequences, and to advance the enjoyment of the highest attainable standard of health for all peoples based on the basis of equity, human rights, and solidarity, with a view to achieving universal health coverage while recognizing the sovereign rights of countries, acknowledging the difference in levels of development among countries respecting their national context, and recognizing relevant international instruments. So, okay, that sounds kind of nice, but it's predicated on the idea.
Wait, what part sounds nice?
I mean, the idea of.
And I want to get the first scripture off of that, okay? Because that's what Esau does, all right? You heard it there. She said, it sounds nice, all right? So we're going to get this real quick. Just want to go to it. This is Psalms. We'll get it in the blue letter. Go back to that. says Psalms 55 and 21, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. Okay? And that's exactly what they're about to do. Now, when you link, all right, when you link who funds the WHO organization, all right, which is the person that was always pushing for the letter P being neutralized in this little mathematical equation. All right. And he's still on the verge of running wild, okay, with buying up the farmland and so on and so forth. It's mainly against the children of Israel that they're trying to come against, but collateral damage is going to ensue, and the evidence is out now that hasty juice, okay, the hasty punch is now the leading cause of myocarditis and other ill-gotten illnesses, okay, within the human body. A medical study came out. When was that? Probably yesterday. I was reading a little bit about it. And this is it, man. Okay, so given the current situations with the train wrecks, the chemical spills in certain areas, which they could tell you that it's chemicals being spilled, but they haven't tell you what the cherry on top was in the chemicals. All right, meaning the added stuff. All right, and now they have these train cars sitting all around with various chemicals in it, so to speak, or I'll just say punch from, the CDC. All right, because when you look at movies like Resident Evil, The Crazies, what else? The Walking Dead, things of that nature. All right, they can have whole vats of this stuff delivered anywhere. That's just something, in the spirit that's telling me just to bring that out, or bring to light. Is it confirmed? But no. It's just like when Yahushua asked Peter, "Who am I?" He said, "You're the son of Yahweh." Okay? The spirit told him. And, through the spirit, this is what they're trying to cook up. This is why they given this type of authority to this Molech group. Okay?
I mean, the idea of we all get equal access to medicines that we need.
So, okay, sub-Saharan Africa that gets screwed, and wealthy countries get the medications, or they charge insane prices, or
Well,
that
we
sort of.
saw this
Right.
happen during the monkeypox outbreak because Africa's been suffering from monkeypox for decades now, and did not have access to vaccines. But as soon as Western countries have it, hey, here's some vaccines we can use. We've had it in our stock.
And that's how you know that this is planned. Okay? That's how you know that this is planned. Let's get this scripture. All right. Salaki brothers. says Psalms 58:2. It says, "Yea, in heart ye work wickedness, ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth." All right, well, let's get this in the NLT. No, you plot injustice in your hearts. You spread violence throughout the land. Okay, and just like in those third world countries, okay, like she was explaining, the foundation that does that is the same people that fund the Molech group. Okay, who? That's what the bird does. Okay, the owl goes who all the time. Who, who. All right. So the Molech group is a batting for 1,000. All right, none's the wiser. Okay, because if the power is seceded, okay, from the United States and given the owl group sovereignty, guillotines, torture camps, experimental sites. Like the ones that they got up there in Canada. All right, we won't go into that, but these places exist. All right, for their twisted pleasure. That leads to this right here. Get this scripture real quick. Sabaki brothers. What was it? Like a 2-in-1. Says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hands." All right. This devil don't mean nobody good, man. He's just gonna go through corrupting and being corrupt as usual. Says, "What sorrow waits you who lie awake at night, thinking up evil plans? You rise at dawn and hurry to carry them out, simply because you have the power to do so." And those wreckages. And then you had Klaus Schwab earlier last week get on there and talk about Black Swan events, man. Let's see. So it's going down, man. You gotta connect the pieces, man. And that's something that our people are not they're not privy to. That's why you got the Watchmen out here, the true sincere Watchmen of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai out here. GMS being in the forefront, okay, the avant-garde. Says Black Swan event, high impact event that is difficult to predict under normal circumstances, but that in retrospect appears to have been inevitable. Okay, a Black Swan event is unexpected and therefore difficult to prepare for, but is often rationalized with the benefit of hindsight as having been unavoidable. Okay, and basically, we know that train derailments happen. You can't prepare against it, but you're supposed to have some type of contingency plan in place in case it happens. All right, but at most, it's going to happen, and then it's nothing that you can do about it. And it's going to be a succession of these type of events that go on from here on out. Okay, and if sovereignty is given to the Molech group, okay, then you're gonna pay with your life, okay, because there will be no rush to do anything about it, and the decisions to jump in there and do something about it will only lead to more disastrous ends. Okay. Now, one of the things that Schwabi's talking about, let's get it. Want to do this. I want to go here. Salahi, brother. Go here. And this is the new thing that he's talking about, but it's not new. This is something that he's already let be known. And this is what the left hand side does. He tells you before he acts upon doing it, just like the prophets out here on the right hand side tells you that the coming of the Lord is happening. You know, right? Satan's minions, okay, tell you about the destruction on the left hand side that's coming through. Okay. Let me go right here to this brother's page. I'm on Escobar's page. Okay. Let me I just want to go to his videos. Let me see. Matter of fact, yeah. All right, let me do this. It's in here. I watched it today. It's a little clip. Right here. Let's go here real quick. Hear what Swabby Schwab have to say. Cotton ball head. And this is the guy that's in charge of the Molech organization, or one of the members of it. I would say that part.
Scenario of a comprehensive cyber attack, which would bring to a complete halt to the power supply, transportation, hospital services, our society as a whole. The COVID-19 crisis would be seen in this respect as a small disturbance in comparison to a major cyber attack.
The COVID-19 pandemic has shaken our economies and societies to the core and shown us how vulnerable we are to biological threats. In the digital world, similar risks are being overlooked right now. A cyber attack with COVID-like characteristics would spread faster and further than any biological virus. Its reproductive rate would be around 10 times greater than what we've experienced with the coronavirus. To give you an idea, one of the fastest worms in history, the 2003 Slammer sapphire worm, doubled in size approximately every 8.5 seconds, infecting over 75,000 devices in 10 minutes and almost 11 million devices in 24 hours. Fortunately, at least until now, cyber attacks have not impacted our health the way pandemics have, but the economic damages, and therefore the impact they have had on our daily lives, have been equal and sometimes even greater. You see, the only way to stop the exponential propagation of a COVID-like cyber threat is to fully disconnect the millions of vulnerable devices from one another and from the internet. All of this in a matter of days. A single day without the internet would cost our economies more than $50 billion, and that's before considering the economic and societal damages should these devices be linked to essential services such as transport or healthcare. As the digital realm increasingly merges with our physical world, the ripple effects of cyber attacks on our safety just keep on expanding at a faster pace than what we're preparing for. COVID-19 was known as an anticipated risk. So is the digital equivalent. Let's be better prepared for that one. The time is now.
And you gotta know that they really don't want to stop that from happening because it works out in their favor. All right, disconnecting the internet. Okay, this is why they need sovereignty. One of the reasons. All right, it's that great. You know what? Okay, that he talks about all the time. REST. RESET. All right.
Yeah.
Vaccines we can use. We've had it in our
Well,
stockpiles.
And the WHO really already had that power during this last pandemic because they were the ones censoring. If you had any kind of notice on the bottom of your video, it was going by WHO guidelines, and so they were demonizing drugs already that were alternatives to what's on the market. So it's already happening. They're just going to make it more official now. It sounds.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Right. They would shoot down things that were more natural curatives, etc., in favor of biopharmaceuticals that
Yes.
would make billions of dollars.
See, it's all the government plans. We know that herbs. Okay. All right. Let's see, herbs for me. I get it through here. I know where it's at. It's in Genesis. I think that's how it goes. The green seed. Genesis 9:3. Every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you, even as the green herb have I given you all things. Right? Let's see. Let me go down some. I've seen it right there. Genesis 1:11. This is what they don't want. This is why them shutting down the internet due to said viruses, and that's madness, man. This devil is just he's at his end of his rope, man. He gotta be put down. Genesis 1:11, and Most High Power Yahweh said, "Let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth," and it was so. Okay, it said, "And the earth brought forth grass and herb yielding seed after his kind, and the tree yielding fruit, whose seed was in itself after his kind, and God saw that it was good. All right. All right. So those things that he brought forth could heal your body. All right. That's why he made abundance of them. All right. It was on to you as medicine. Okay. I'm trying to word it in my head, the scripture for it. It'll come to me though. But yeah, these devils are definitely ramping it up. All right, let's get to.
Yes, and the idea.
Not to mention.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Not to mention that like if they go with the whole international lockdown routine again, how does that work for distributing then across borders? If it's all then going to be global.
Other and all the world, the pandemic the same, whether they were strict or not strict. Point that because everyone handled it differently, we need to make sure everyone handles it the same, even though it would seem to me that the data plays out that everyone handled it this differently and then ended up sort of like getting through it with a similar outcome. Like we all just had to survive it, just get through it, I guess. Is maybe survive is the wrong choice of words, but anyway, I don't think I can agree with the premise that the WHO, had all the right policies, and it's just that we had a bunch of countries acting as bad children who
Right.
didn't.
Like we and we should really point out who funds the World Health Organization. Right at the heart of this, the number one funder of the World Health Organization is the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Number one, as Whitney Webb on our show has articulately laid out. Right. So the amount of money that comes from a group that is intimately tied to the biopharmaceutical complex, making money off of this, and then has written books and laid out plans about how the next pandemic will unfold, is behind the World Health Organization.
Right.
At the heart of all of this.
Yeah, and I think the point I think history will eventually show that the countries with the fewest WHO related restrictions are the ones that may have done the best. That does seem, and so what they're saying here is we need more universal.
One place that didn't do it was I think it was the Netherlands. Okay. They didn't follow any of the guidelines given by the Molech people, okay? And they turned out just right. Okay, they did a thing called herd immunity, and it worked out for them, okay?
Policy, when it doesn't seem that policy actually got anyone through the pandemic, is the point that I'm trying to make.
Right. Yeah.
And so, okay,
and
that's.
So it leads us to believe that there's something else behind the whole matter, and they're gonna try to bring in, the NWO through medical tyranny, and then economic downfall. All right, and everything else is gonna go hand in hand with it. When you can't eat, you need medical attention. If you can't get medical attention, then you're gonna be, privy to what they're bringing out, which is the RFID, MOTB. Okay, and it's just a path of destruction coming our way, man. All right. The time of Jacob's trouble, all that's going to be encumbrance in this. You got Revelations 13, Revelations 14. You got Second Ezra 15 and 16. All of this is going to be a major part of what we're going to start to see. All right. And she has a list. I'm trying to get to it, but
That's something we can debate
Yeah.
But again, I don't think that the
To put a tighter point on that, we are now ceding control of our response to a next round of any kind of pandemic where
to an organization that doesn't have a good track record from the last one.
And who is not elected, is an unelected group
Yes.
of people that we are ceding power to. Like, I just want to really drive home this point because I don't think people are understanding this. And certainly when they see this is not being covered, I did a search, this is not being covered in the mainstream media at all in this way. And it's almost being played up by like the Atlantic and other news organizations I was reading today as a really good thing. This is a really good thing that we're ceding our power to the World Health Organization.
Right. I'm going to go through the CA Plus, and I'm just going to give you the worst case scenario of the things that the WHO is giving themselves power with this document. And I made a list as I went through it. One, they want to give themselves power to define the next pandemic. So what is it? What's the sickness? What's the lockdown? Or, what is it that we're running from? To determine lockdowns, give themselves surveillance power, determine treatments, vaccine mandates, vaccine distribution, vaccine IP and profits, and redistribution of pretty much everything. I'm going to show you. There's a sort of part in here that I'm like, whoa! Like they think they can literally like change use of land because of pandemic prevention.
This is again the eminent domain clause that we've been talking about. We've covered this over the past few months, and this was one of the biggest things that stood out. Most people weren't covering this, is that they have the right to seize land. They have the right to seize property.
And we're going to show you the language that they give themselves this power. So because this is a draft, the WHO hasn't even defined certain powers or problems. See this working document? This is like, they were able to define what a pandemic is and what populations are, but these things are like holding pattern. Okay, pathogen with pandemic potential means they don't even know what that means yet, what it means to have a potential. These things I do not like. The things in red are the things that give me stomach ache. For instance, the World One Health surveillance means they don't know yet, but they're going to get to it. Meaning everybody surveyed, but we'll define that later.
See, it's weird because everything's open-ended. Okay? They wrote up a clause, but it's no definitions in it. Or we will do it because of this. They just put means at the end. ... Like it's open ended. So that's a part of the NWO. You see, because it's not finalized. And the thing of it, like that brother Amawanga Bar said in one of his videos, he said that if land is greatly polluted, right, and that's probably in this same list. I'm gonna put this in the description link because enough was said already, but and there's more. Okay, we'll be here for hours if I just let it play on. But the thing of it is, they're going to control everything. It goes back to Klaus Schwab saying, okay, you'll be happy and you'll have nothing. You'll have nothing and you'll be happy. Okay? Because they're saying that they got you all wrapped up. All right? Anything happens, they have the open-ended clauses that they put in place. All right? And basically this is a step towards that NWO process. Right? No more C's for you to take. All right, because they already took care of that with the GMO. All right, they don't give the land rest, so the herbs don't have enough power in it to actually heal you. All right, but everything's possible through Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, and that's how you'll heal yourself. Okay, with prayer, constant prayer, and fasting. All right. Let me see. Bring out this quick scripture too. get one more and then that'll be it. But pretty much, I just wanted to bring that out because this secret council, man, it's going to fail them. All right. Job 18 and 17. 7, Salaki. So I'll be getting ready to see a big change of events. Okay. This is Job 18 and 7. It says, the steps of his strength shall be straightened, and his own counsel shall cast him down. For he is cast into a net by his own feet, and he walketh upon a snare. All right. And when he comes over here, you know, when that who plan starts to take effect, and the people that's, you know, riled up in the U.S., like I did on my last show, all right, they're gonna topple this place, man. But we know it's the hand of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua that's gonna topple it. Okay, but it's coming, man. You could feel it. You could feel it in the air. You can see what the little setups are. All right, this dude been open about Black Swan events that could be stopped, but it was no way to stop them. Job 18 and 8, it says, for he is cast into a net by his own feet, and he walketh upon the snare. Right? So the hole that he digging for you know, the people of the book, right, the Israelites, to put them in a trap, to put them in a grave. All right, it's gonna trap him. It says the jinn shall take him by the hill, and the robber shall prevail against him. The snare is laid for him in the ground, and a trap for him in the way. Terror shall make him afraid on every side, and shall drive him to his feet. Right? Let's get this right here. It says, terror surround the wicked and trouble them at every step. And that's one of the things that they know about America. They can't go in anybody's front lawn or yard. It's a gun everywhere in America. That's in the head of these other nations. It's the biggest gun owners are Americans. All right. So they're gonna face resistance. That's what I'm trying to say over here. All right. In the westernized world, and that's why they have to come up with these open-ended clauses that they're making, because the new world order is going to be just like a serpent wrapping tight before it swallows you. Okay, in Babylon the Great, we're starting to see it. Okay, next round of pandemics, it's on the way. Through what? Through the Bill and, you know, the Kill Gates Foundation. All right, because that variable P has to be knocked off, and this is what our people are not privy to. All right, and that's why we're here, to warn the people. Let me grab this, and then I'm gonna be out. Ezekiel 33 and 6. And just grab it. And that's what we're doing, man. We out here warning the people of what's to come. Says Ezekiel 33 and 6, but if the watchmen see the sword come, and blow not the trumpet, and the people be not warned, if the sword come and take any person from among them, he is taken away in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at the watchman's hand. And that's why we out here. Because we're blowing the horn. We're blowing the horn, telling you what's about to happen. Okay? So we're washing the blood off our own hands. And now people are going to be killed for a lack of knowledge, like it says in what's that? Habakkuk 4, I believe. Let's grab that real quick. Hosea 4, Salaki. I was right. Salaki, Salaki. Let's see. Hosea 4 and 6. Salaki brothers. Says, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Since thou hast forgotten the law of thy power, I will also forget thy children. Right? So, us out here showing you, the plans that Esau got in play, and you're not reacting to it. It's going to be, your own funeral, so to speak. Let's grab this one. Ezekiel 21 and 9. Says Ezekiel 21 and 9. Right, son of man, prophesy and say, thus said the Lord, and say, a sword is sharpened and also furbished. Right, it is sharpened to make a sore slaughter. It is furbished that it may glitter. Shall we then make mirth? It contemneth the rod of my son as every tree. Okay, and he hath given it to be furbished, that it may be handled. This sword is sharpened, and it is furbished to give it into the hand of the slayer. All right, and those policies, those sicknesses, all right, the things that he dreams up at night. Okay, and it's all coming this way, man. He already got the okie doke cooking with the derailments and the toxic spilled on the highway. Weather machines, earthquake machines. So it's already here. And the only thing that you can do to protect yourself against it is, is prayer. And have faith in Yahweh Hashem Yahushua to deliver you out of the troubles that's about to happen. Okay, the time of Jacob's trouble is close upon us. The hour of temptation is here. It's a lot coming down the pipe at one time. But you give it to Yahweh Hashem and Yahushua, man, and he's gonna provide. He's gonna see fit to do what he can do for you in these days, man. All right. Cause that's the only thing we got. We're prisoners of hope, man. We hope that we be saved out of whatever troubles coming upon the land. All right. But that's pretty much it. That's all I had. I just wanted to bring out that information and try to link it the best way I can to get it in the thoughts of the sincere listeners, the hopeful elect, okay, of the nation of Israel. With that, I want to say all praises due to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kadash, and double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom, Abba Babal,